Hello everyone, Tim here and welcome back to another painting critique video. Today I'm excited to share and review the wonderful artwork created by my attendees my recent workshop where we painted this beautiful rural scene from West Littleton in the UK. In this video I'll offer constructive feedback on each of the submitted paintings, highlighting the strengths and aspects I particularly admire. I'll also suggest some small adjustments or improvements that you can consider to hopefully further enhance your watercolour skills. Please bear in mind that the colours and lighting in the photos may vary slightly due to differences in everyone's cameras and lighting conditions when they take the photos. And also remember that there's no one right way to paint. It's always fascinating to see everyone's unique interpretation of the same subject. Now, my workshops welcome artists of all skill levels, from beginners right up to experienced painters out there. And if you're interested in joining a future workshop, these are online workshops, or if you'd like to explore past sessions where we do tackle a number of different landscape, seascape, cityscape scenes, please visit my events page site at crowdcast.io/@Tim Wilmot. There you'll find details of the up and coming workshops, including the next section, which is due on March the 20th. So now let's dive into today's paintings and see all of the inspiring interpretations of the lovely rural scene. First, I'm going to start off with the source photo that we all used for the tutorial. This is West Littleton near Bath, a rural scene of some fields, a few cottages in the middle ground, and then some distant hills. And a big expanse of sky, trees framing the scene left and right. Quite a simple composition, but I think there's a few tricky things in this. And it'd be interesting to see how the attendees tackle these. First of all, with the composition, how high will they make that skyline? Are they going to go for a big sky or a little sky, more of the landscape? That'll be interesting to see. Secondly, we've got a bit of a slope of the land from left down to right and a few little humps along the way. So it'd be interesting to see the kind of gradient that people introduce into their scene. Next, the texture of the meadow, this grassy field here, which I believe it's just been cut, and we've got the sort of stubbly grass, all sorts of different colours in there, browns, greens, different shades of green, a little dark ridge of foliage there. Coming towards us, we've got some more stubbly grass and then more vibrant fresh grass in the bottom right-hand corner. Next, how will they tackle the trees left and right? We've got this kind of statement oak tree there in the middle of the field, but then over on the left, some taller trees. Over on the right, sort of framing that scene on the right-hand side, some more trees. And then you just about see coming in from the top right corner, the overhanging oak leaves coming in. Next challenge, the lighting. Ideally, in watercolor paintings, we like bright days or some good range of values of light and dark. Here we've got a lot of mid-range values. It's a brightish day, overcast day. There's no real sharp shadows to speak of. So how will they handle those values to still try and get a little bit of impact into the scene with some lights and some darks? Will people pick on some lighter areas, make them lighter, dark areas, make them darker? And then trying to be creative with the scene. We've got a lot of grass here, big field. Can we get a bit creative with that by putting something in there, a tractor or something that you might typically see in a rural scene. So that's the source photo. Here's my painting then from the live demo, and fairly happy with the scene. I think I've got the composition okay with the dangling, overhanging trees, the branches on the top right corner, they're coming in, the height of the horizon, not too much sky, got a feeling of the depth, I think, with the value there. Could have gone a little bit more vibrant, bit richer, more saturated with the colours in the meadow, but on the whole, fairly happy with it. I think I've got the gradient as well, sloping down from top left to bottom right, and there's a couple of humps there as well with some dry brush mark technique, trying to get the texture of those grasses. Could have also got maybe a little bit more of the feeling of the stubbly grass in the meadow, but the danger is that if you overdo it, it can sort of bring it further forwards. I got the stubbly grass, I think, okay, coming closer to us with that browner patch there, and then the vibrant grass in the bottom right hand corner. Quite happy with the distant cottages, a few different colours there, creamy one on the left, then more sort of grey earthy colours with the one on the right, and the trees as well, trying to get some of the trees looking fairly well, trying to get different shades of green in there. Also the volume of the trees with the darks and the lights, a little bit of a shadow, soft edges of the shadow, because we've got those dull conditions, no sort of real bright sunlight to speak of. So that's my painting then. Let's go through the attendees one by one. First up then, Adele. Nice composition. I think you've pretty much followed my take on the scene. The sky has come out really well. Love the texture in the sky. Good sense of depth with the fields in the background, with the trees coming closer to us. Maybe this middle oak tree here could be defined as a little bit more. It kind of sort of merges a little bit with the foliage on the left. Also, I probably would just make the foliage on the left a little bit more solid. Beautiful texture of the field, nice and brown. You've got a good feeling there of the texture and the slope of the land. Maybe with the tree trunk there, just a little bit too thick with the tree trunk, and perhaps a bit too blue with the shadow below the tree, but nice edge on that shadow. Good buildings, nice texture of the ground coming over to the right-hand side. Yeah, good job on the cottages as well. I like the detail of the window there, of the right-hand one. Yeah, well done, Adele. And Alexei, nice composition. I like your sky. You've gone for more of a brighter day, which I'm sure a lot of people will prefer to do that. Lovely watercolor techniques. Yes, so on the left-hand side, you've kind of merged the oak tree in, the oak tree in the field in with the trees on the left. I think that's all right. The field, perhaps we haven't got that kind of undulating structure so much, but you've managed to inject quite a few nice colours into that. I love all the softness of the shapes, the brush marks that you've got in the foreground there. That works well. Bit of wet in wet with those soft edges. Nice foliage on the right-hand side. Good job with the cottages as well. Thanks so much, Alexei. And Anna, nicely framed. Always is a great improvement with paintings. Any painting, just to mount them or frame them in that way. Not necessary for the workshop though. Nice composition. Good sky. Again, lovely photo coming in from the top right-hand corner. With the main tree, trying to make it look too perfect. but it's all right. Nice variety of greens. The fields have come out really well. The two cottages are good. Maybe with this extension here, it's just a little bit too wide, and also the pitch of the roof is a little bit too shallow. Maybe that could be a little bit more, a little bit steeper. But other than that, good job with the cottages. And then coming closer towards us, you've got some really nice marks there to define the stubble and the weeds and so on growing in the foreground. Really nice. Lovely shade of green there as well in the bottom right hand corner. Yeah, well done, Anna and Anthony. This has got more of a, I think with that golden colour there, it's got more of a sort of an autumnal feel to it. I like the way that you've adjusted the shape of that little sort of shed building on the right hand side. So good composition. Sky good. The distant hills good. I like the effect of the watercolour there, where you've got that band of a lighter green above the distant field. And then, I'm not sure if did you turn your paper upside down, but to get that slightly darker edge to it, I think it's quite effective. The trees, yes, I can see you've used a slightly different technique than I do, maybe with a smaller brush for your trees. It's a nice technique. I think it's worked all right with that tree. The tree on the right and the tree on the left, I think maybe the tree trunk just a little bit too high before the canopy starts. But yeah, a nice technique, a different way of approaching trees. But a lovely golden colour in the field. You've got the texture of the stubble, well, the gradient, the humps on the land as well, and then coming towards us the actual foreground vegetation, grass. You've gone more horizontal. I think it would still look better with a little bit more of an angle like that, rather than being sort of too horizontal with that band there. But lovely painting. Well done, Anthony and Barb. Right, straight away I can see you've gone for more of an overcast sky. Very nice. But you kept the scene quite bright. So we got the feeling of maybe the sun has come out above us or behind us. And we've got that nice sort of contrast between the moody sky and the bright land. That's worked out all right. Good sense of depth, nice composition. Maybe the shadow underneath that tree just a little bit too dark, or perhaps the canopy of the tree, or the height of the tree trunk there just a little bit too high. But it's all right. Nice tree as well. Good foliage on the right hand side. You've turned that cottage just a little bit to the left. I think that works, rather than making a sort of boring rectangle of the roof, rectangle of the building. Turning it just slightly to the left there introduces, it makes it a little bit more interesting. And then also you've got the dual aspect of the light on the facade there, and a little bit shady on the right hand side. Nice texture of the hedge in front of the cottage. Lovely dry brush marks of the field. Yeah, you've got some nice curves into that field. These here, that one there, nice line there. Beautiful. Well done, Barb. And I think we've got two Bobs. We've got two Bobs. No, one Bob. Bob L. Right, nice composition. This is lovely. You've kind of zoomed into those cottages there. That really works. We've got less of the sky, less of the background hills. Though that sky is really nice. I like the reds and the blues in that sky. Not overly done. We've got some crows or ravens flying around there, which typically you would see. I can see there's a couple of figures. That's a nice touch. There's a couple of figures there. Maybe a dog, a couple of figures walking through that kind of archway into the field. And also, potentially, you're merging that figure. They're lovely figures there, Bob. Really, really good. Nice texture to the field. We've got the slope as well. Yeah, brilliant painting. But I do like the way that you've done those cottages. They look lovely. A nice sort of serene, beautiful, sort of quintessential style to them. Almost line and wash, yet not quite. It's nicely done. Yeah, well done, Bob. And Bronwyn. Good composition. We've got a nice sky. Maybe with the distant hedgerow, you've gone just a little bit too dark with that. Or possibly if you'd have just softened up the edge a bit and or make the grass just a little bit darker, I reckon, because there's a similar value to the sky. But we've got the sense of depth there anyway. The cottages, nicely drawn and painted, beautiful. Good foliage with the trees, again, as I've pointed out with others. Maybe just consider making the foliage in the trees just a little bit more solid, so we've got less of the white paper showing through. Very nice field though, lovely texture on that field, a number of different sort of marks and shapes with your brush and dry brush, different techniques as well. Dry brush I can see there, a bit of dry brush, bit of wet in wet over here on the right hand side. Lovely granulation of your watercolour, lots of different colours in there, warm reds, browns. I really like all of this in the foreground. Really nice use of watercolour to get those different effects and the shapes and those edges as well. Well done, Bronwyn and Buck. Now, I bet this photo, well, I'm sure the photo is a little bit darker than the actual painting in the flesh. Very nice scene though. That sky is fantastic. Really nice sky. I love it. That blue in the top right-hand corner. The shape of those clouds as well, almost like you feel there's a bit of wind blowing them from left to right in a way with the shape that you've managed to achieve there. So nice composition as well. Background, we've got the depth there, just the right value. Really nice cottages. The foliage, I think your foliage come out really well. The oak tree there, the statement oak tree, and then over on the right-hand side, particularly these ones on the right-hand side. All those different edges that you've got, shades of green, the yellowy greens, the cooler greens, the soft shadows within the trees to define their form. Very nice. And the texture of the meadow, yeah. Again, maybe quite a sort of autumnal colours with this one. Nice, warm ochres and burnt siennas, I guess, reddish browns, lovely. Yeah, nice one, Buck, thank you. Next up, Carolyn. Oh, again, nicely framed. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Right, good composition. You've got, I can see that you've lowered the horizon just a little bit. Works well. Lovely sky. You've gone for more of a fair weather sky, and the coming towards us, good value for the background fields there and the hedge on the ridge. With the two cottages, one on the left looks right, but maybe the one on the right lacks a bit of definition. It sort of is a bit, I don't know, soft. Perhaps if we had some harder lines in there or some darker values, it might just stand out just a little bit more. Nice touch with the foliage. I think the foliage on the right, good foliage, but maybe could be your paint mixture could be just a little bit more pigment to water just to make the paint a little bit thicker. That looks to me quite transparent. Although, having said that, it's a nice effect. I do like it. That transparency in there, those little sort of faint veins or lines going through it, very effective. The field, very nice indeed. And then the foreground as well. Maybe this is a smaller size picture, I guess because of the smaller photo. I guess it's maybe a slightly smaller smaller image or smaller size paper. Yeah, lovely. Well done indeed. Thanks, Carolyn and Christy. Now, Christy's got, to me, it feels like almost a sort of misty feel to it. Beautiful. Good composition. Immediately, I'm picking up on the way that you've done the trees. They've come out really well. And the fact that the oak tree there in the middle, you've got, that's a slightly more vibrant green, but the shadows within the tree, they've got harder edges. And the way that you've managed to achieve those lights against the darks works really well with the foliage. Tree on the left, very nice indeed. Sort of a thickish, opaquish shadow there. I like that. Good job with the cottages. They come out well. Maybe with the field, we could have got just a little bit more texture in there, and some of the sort of vertical spikes of the grasses, the freshly cut grass and the stubble just showing up there. But it's okay. Trees on the right, good again. Lovely soft green grass in the bottom right hand corner. I can see here, zooming in, that you've got a little bit of those stubbly grasses showing through. Yeah, beautiful. Do like your foliage though, Christy. Well done. Colin K. Nice composition. Good sky. Bit of granulation there. I love the granulation. Sort of enhanced with the texture of the paper. We can see the lovely texture of the watercolor paper there. Distant field, all right. I think you've got away with that light green there. Could be maybe just a little bit lighter, and be careful of that bit of light there below, between the background ridge of trees or the hedge and that grass. I'll just make that a little bit more solid. The foliage has come out really well. Nice shadows within those trees. Perhaps we could get a little bit of a softer edge on some of those shadows, just a little bit. Love that dry brush mark there. Cottages are really good. This cottage might be leaning a little bit downwards. I think that rooftop needs to be a little bit more horizontal, but other than that, it's all right. And then the field, I think you're like mine, Colin, could have gone a little bit more vibrant with the colours in the field. Although, having said that, you've got this yellow coming towards us, and then those reds as well in the immediate foreground. That's come out all right. I like the effect that you've done, presumably with a flat brush or similar, trying to get the effect of the grasses there in the bottom right hand corner. That's come out all right, but could have gone, yeah, maybe in this bottom right hand corner could have gone a little bit stronger with the colours, vibrant with the colours, just to sort of bring it towards us a little bit more. But nice one, Colin. Well done. And so that was Colin K. And we've got Colin W. Now another photo here, which I bet is a little bit dark than the actual live painting. Very nice painting, nice composition. I do like the colour of your field in the background. That sort of coolish green, but you kept it quite bright. Nicely done. Good build it, good couple of cottages. You've got in the demo I described my way of doing old cottages with that little bit of a hump on the ridge of the roof, just to try and create the kind of quirky feeling of a really old roof. I think that's come out really well. Nice foliage of the trees left and right. With the tree in the top right corner, I think you need a little bit more water in your paint to try and get, I think it'd be more effective trying to, rather than see some of these dry brush marks in there, Colin, add a little bit more water in there, maybe go a little bit darker with that as well. The meadow has come out really well. Really nice feeling of the gradient and the the contour of the land as well with those couple of humps. That's come out really well. And then this, the stubble coming towards us in the foreground. I like the way that you've got the little bits of vegetation that's sticking out. Also, all sort of leaning the same way as if the tractor or wind or whatever has sort of blown it blown it to a similar angle. That's come out really well. Nice one. Thanks very much, Colin. And David C. Nice bright scene, good composition. Now I think we need, I did say it was a dullish day, overcast day, and there were very little darks here, but I do think we need to sneak in a few darks kind of in that area there, David. I think it would help with just a little bit of darkness underneath the tree and then at the base of the tree, okay, just to make that stand out a little bit more, give us a slightly more interesting range of values there. Yeah, so a little bit more darkness in there. Nice sky. With the background fields, just be careful of adding in those dry brush marks. You're kind of almost bringing it forward. I don't think it needed it. I think if your base color, I presume you laid down, you painted a layer of the light green first, and then when it was dry or dryish, you went over with these dry brush marks, maybe 2 or 3 there. Doesn't need it, all right? That kind of brings it forward just a little bit too much. Good job with the fields in the middle there and the foreground. Perhaps we could have just a little bit more texture and hard edges to some of the stubble in the immediate foreground there, David. Yeah, a lovely painting though. Nice job with the foliage, range of colours. Excellent. Well done. And so that was David C. Right, we've got David J. Right, straight away we can see a couple of very creative elements here. The tractor coming towards us, which of course you would find in this rural area. And bottom right, a couple of figures, got their umbrella out. So, and they're walking a couple of dogs, as we can see. Nice touch, love it. And there's a nice balance between those two as well. Maybe the tractor, is the tractor a bit too big? No, I guess with your field, you've made it just a little bit smaller than the source photo. That's right. I like the colours in the buildings as well, particularly the one on the right-hand side. The reddish roof, the almost greenish colour of the side extension and the little extension facing us. Like it. Nice sky. Sky coming into the background fields there. Yeah, lovely painting, David. And it's got the appearance of a nice fresh watercolour as well, the way that you've laid down your brush marks and you haven't sort of mucked about with it. Particularly evident in that top right corner, the way that you've got the leaves coming in there from the overhanging branches. Yeah, nice one, David. Thank you, David J. And oops, did I go through 2 then? No. Right, next up, Derek. Nice composition. Oh, I see you've introduced a little bit of a quirky slope to the background. Nice touch. I think that works really well. Just be careful though, as that ridge slopes down, we're hitting this main tree here and the top of the tree is directly in line with that slope. Maybe consider getting the tree above that line. So the land comes down, it stops, and then it reappears on the other side. That might work a little bit better. Also that tree, I think the way you've done your brush marks, the trees left and right a bit better, but this one here, I think the way that you've kind of made your marks like that, it looks almost like a sort of conifer type tree or a pine tree, rather than a deciduous tree. I like your buildings though. You've been very creative with those buildings. We've almost got, looks like there's almost 3 buildings there. And I like the way that you've introduced a couple of values to the, like a 2-tone house, a brownish sort of first floor, and then the ground floor is a lighter colour. Yeah, very nice touch with the buildings. Coming towards us, what's your intention to leave that white in the right-hand side there? So not sure if this was a sort of part finished painting. Well, let me know, Derek. We'll pop it into comments. But it's a really fresh watercolor. But I do like your houses and the way that you've just sloped that land down there. Nice touch. Well done, Derek. Thank you. And Diane. Oh, a very nice scene. I like the style of this one. I think you've actually been very patient with this. You've spent a lot of time doing it. It's come out really well. A nice style to it. Now we're talking about the slope of the ridge at the back. Yours is sloping down ever so slightly from top left to bottom right. That's come out really well. And as I was pointing out, I think that tree looks just right, popping above the skyline of the background, of that background ridge. That's come out really well. Nice range of colours in the trees as well. We've got some reds popping in there, a reddish tree. Yeah, foliage has come out really well. Perhaps the one on the right, it looks a little bit too perfect. Just be careful of not making your trees look too sort of symmetrical. I think this one on the left hand side, that's better. We've got more of a sort of quirky natural edge to that, so it goes in a little bit here and just emphasizing it a bit, but you know what I mean. Whereas on this one on the right hand side, it's almost as if it's being clipped in a way coming down. So just try and create more of a natural edge to it. The field has come up really well. I like the darker marks there. Not sure if you've done that with a pen or a brush, doesn't matter, but I think it's come out really well. And we've got the contour of the land also, the slope and the contour of those bumps, and then coming towards us, good job with the brown patch and the green patch. Maybe this dark line here stands out just a little bit too much. And also again, try with the grasses, try and have more variety in the height of that stubble there, just a little bit. But it's a beautiful watercolor. I really do like it. Nice sky also. Yeah, that contour's come out really well. Well done, Diane. Fazia. Well, it's a lively watercolor with those brush marks. Good composition. The background hills have come out really well. Just the right value green there, Fazia. Your range of greens though, beautiful. Really, really nice indeed. So good trees, well done. Lovely buildings as well. Possibly this building here is a little bit too light there. It kind of stands out just a little bit too much. Also possibly just get in a darker line at the base of that roof just to define that a little bit more. Now, I love the colours in the field, but I'm not sure if there's just too many marks in there. Yeah, I think it starts off all right in the distance there, coming towards us. With the contour of the land, I think these marks, they're beautiful marks, by the way, but I just think if they were more horizontal rather than vertical, like these marks here, I suppose they could be sort of dock leaves or something like that, some kind of vegetation. But yeah, they're maybe just a little bit too big. And also if they were flatter, if they were more horizontal rather than vertical, that might appear a little bit better to define the texture of those grasses, but I do like them though. Fantastic shapes to those, and I don't know what reds those are, but that's a lovely red. Anyway, thanks very much, Fazia. A nice, lively watercolour. Thank you. Oh, could go a bit darker in that top right corner and a little bit more solid as well, just to get the feeling of the density of the overhanging branches there. Right, Jean. Again, I reckon this photo is just a little bit darker than the live thing. Nice composition, good sky, good background. The cottages come out well. With the trees, maybe just a tiny bit overworked a little bit. And also, I reckon if you'd have gone a bit thicker with the paint and then just apply one layer rather than multiple layers, it would look a little bit fresher. Possibly on the left hand side, move the foliage up a little bit more, just get a little bit more height and define that middle oak tree a bit more. The field in the middle is good. We've got the slope, we've got the contour. You've really gone for a deeper sort of little trough in the middle of that field there. That works well. Maybe you could have emphasized that a bit more with some darkness in the bottom of that little trough there, possibly. Nice texture of the foliage coming towards us. I like that sweep up to the left as well. Yeah, nicely done. Well done, Jean. Thank you. Oh, and nice overhanging trees as well. Right, Joe. Good composition. Like one or two others, we've got a lot of middle range values here. And yeah, so where can we put in some darks? Maybe some darks on the left-hand side. Maybe we could have gone a little bit darker with the shadow within the trees. Like the way you've done the sky, exploiting watercolour. Perhaps the background hill could have just a little bit of a darkness on there for those more distant trees on the top of the ridge. The cottages have come out all right. I think the rooftops, that reddish colour, that's okay. This one on the left, maybe just a little bit too blue. I'm not sure if you've lifted out the colour in there, Joe, but yeah, so less blue I think would look better. The field, it's come out all right. It's good. Maybe could have gone a little bit more vibrant with the colours, just to compare to the background, just to make them come forwards a little bit more than they're doing at the moment, and also getting some harder edges, more of the stubbly effect of the grasses. What else? Oh, you're using Saunders Waterford. Maybe you're painting on. Just wondering if you're painting on the right side, the correct, or the recommended side of the paper. I mean, with most watercolor paper, you can paint on both sides, but there is sometimes a better side than the other. So with that logo there, I reckon you're painting on the behind the back side of the paper rather than the recommended side, just to, in my opinion, that is. Anyway, lovely, Joe. Thanks very much indeed. Right, Joy. Right, my eyes immediately gone to your foliage. Really nice foliage. I'll come on to that in a minute. Nice composition. You haven't gone for that very strong straight line of the background ridge there. I think that works. Nice value of the background fields compared to the light of the sky. Did you change your mind here with that pencil line of the foliage? Personally, I think that where you've got the foliage now, it looks better than that line there. Otherwise, if you'd have gone with that line there, that might have made it a bit too overpowering. Cottages have come out all right. The one on the left, yes, that's all right. One on the right, slightly lost. It's quite light. Maybe it needs a bit more definition in there. Some detail or stronger lines, or the chimneys being a bit darker, the rooftop being a bit darker. The field has come out all right. I like the softness in there, the range of colours as well. Perhaps we could just define the contours just a little bit more, but it's good. I like it. Trees, the foliage has come out excellent. I really like it. Perhaps the one on the left could be, you've got soft edges there and then hard edges there. I reckon if you'd have gone, the way that you've achieved those soft edges, brilliant. I reckon if you'd have just extended that over the right, that would look a lot better. Make it a bit more kind of consistent in your style. Coming towards the bottom right, I think if you'd have gone a bit more vibrant with the green, that would look better as well. But lovely foliage, Joy. Beautifully done. Well done. And hope you can make my next workshop, where we're painting a very sunny street scene, concentrating on figures within a street scene in sunny Spain. That's going to be on March 20th. Hopefully you'll be able to make that, and all the details on my event website and also my main website as well. Thanks very much. Next up then, Kazim. I like the touch with the birds there, either landing or just flying away. They've been spooked by something. I like also lovely texture of the grasses there on that left-hand side in the foreground. Right, composition-wise, very nice indeed. Good value, good sense of depth with the distant fields. The buildings, beautifully done, especially that one on the right. That is really, really nice. The foliage, very nice also. You've got in a couple of poles in there on the left-hand side. Good texture of the meadow going down to the bottom right-hand corner, the contour of that as well. Yeah, you've done really well with the texture on that field there, Kazim. And then foliage on the right, very good. Maybe you could have gone a bit darker with the overhanging tree and the leaf just a little bit larger, just a tiny bit larger. But yes, I think if you'd have gone a bit larger with those leaves and a bit darker as well, just to make it stand out from the cool green of that tree on the right. But the foliage overall, really well done. And the grasses on the right-hand side here, sort of soft mounds of grass coming towards us. Yeah, beautiful job with the textures, and well done being creative with the birds there. Thank you, Kazim and Leslie. What's a nice bright watercolour? I think you've almost gone sort of a little bit liner wash on this one. Nice composition. Like the sky, good value for the distant hills. The tree, I keep looking at this tree on the left. I think if you'd gone a bit more solid, Leslie, with the tree, particularly as we come down below the horizon, below the skyline. I like all that. You've done really well there, but yeah, I think here down here, if we'd have gone a bit more solid and less of the paper showing through, and then just try and define that oak tree, that beautiful oak tree. You've got the perfect shape for it. Maybe you've got the pencil line over there. Was your intention to go there? I think that would have been a bit better up there, Leslie. All right, just peeking above the skyline. The buildings, beautifully done. We've got a little bit of a slope on that right-hand one, but doesn't matter too much, but nice touch with the buildings. And then the way that you've done the meadow, I like that. Nice combination of that kind of bright green and these watercolor effects here, where you've got different strengths of, or different ratios of paint versus water. That's come out really well. That kind of edge around there, this edge here. And then you've emphasized it with, I guess, a smaller brush with these sort of very atmospheric lines that you've introduced into it. Really nice indeed. Also, talking about lines and shapes and marks, nice marks there in that area as well. And that clump of weeds on the right-hand side. Yeah, the foliage and the textures come out really well on this one, Leslie. Well done, though. You've achieved quite a bright scene with that one as well. Thanks very much. Nice range of colours as well. Right, Liliana. Right, my eyes have straight away gone to that sky. That's really nice. Maybe we got quite a few hard edges in that sky. It possibly would look better with a few softer edges around the clouds, but I do like it. The shade of blue that you've got there, sort of almost like a greeny blue. Yeah, it gives it a nice sort of sunny day feeling to it. The sense of depth with the background fields there, the cottages, they come out really well. With the trees, try and go a little bit, as with a few others, try and go a little bit solid with the trees. So we've got less of these white marks showing through. I reckon that would look better, like the white there. Go a bit more solid. Nice shape of that tree there. Good values for the field, good texture as well, with the stubble and dry brush marks. Excellent. Well done, Liliana, but I do like your sky. That is fantastic. Right, Lynn. We got two Lynns. No. One Lynn. Right. Good composition. Nice sky. Those distant hills have come out really well. Distant fields come out really well. The cottages, brilliant. Foliage, like that foliage there, and a nice edge where the lighter green is up against the darker green behind. This tree here could be, is that green is a little bit too cool. Yeah, just be careful of not overdoing it too much. But yeah, I think we've got a good sort of oak tree shape there. And it's placed nicely. I like the height of your tree is just right as well. It was these oak trees, they can be quite low to the ground. You don't often see too much of the trunk where the canopy is quite low. Nice feeling of, yeah, you've got a nice slope in here. Nice slope down, the contour of the land, the texture of those grass in the bottom left hand corner. You've got a little bit opaque-ish with some of your marks there. That works really well. Yeah, if I zoom in, that lighter, did you mix a bit of gouache in with that, possibly? That's come out really well. And also going in different directions also. Yep, good brushwork on that one. A very nice scene. Yeah, well done, Lynn. And Mark D. Right, I reckon, Mark, your photo is a bit darker. I bet your live painting is a bit brighter than this. Right, good composition. You've got the background hills just sloping down a little bit. I like your shade of green. That very cool green in the background has come out really well. Cottages, good. Perhaps the ridge of that rooftop could be, the edge there could be a bit harder. You've gone for quite a soft edge there. I reckon a harder edge would look a little bit better there. Nice foliage. Again, try and make it a little bit more solid as we come down. You've gone, I'm not sure if it's the lightness of the photo or the darkness of the photo, but it looks quite dark there. Yeah, I'm probably tempted to edit the photo and up the brightness a bit. Nice texture on the field and the colours in there, reds and greens. Not overdone it with the dry brush marks, and then the brush marks coming closer to us. Lovely brown here, the green in the bottom right hand corner. Maybe we've lost the definition of the hut a little bit, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the start of the show, your eyes are really taken to that bright building there up against all of the sort of darks around it. Yeah, your eyes really go there. What a Mark and Mike M. Right, we've got more of a flatter, more of a level feeling to the landscape here. Nice composition. I think it's turned out really well. We've got that very strong, edge there, almost like a road or a pathway coming down in front of those buildings. Yeah, I like, so you're going up a little bit there, we're going down a bit there, down a bit here, and a nice range of these horizontal lines, but it's slightly angular. I think it works really well. Nicely done. I like the brush marks as well. Good textures in the grass, the trees, brilliant. Possibly go a little bit more solid within the canopy itself, just to make it a little bit just to remove the white of the paper. I particularly like the way that you've done these cottages. They come out really well, Mike, on that one there on the left hand side. We lost that one a little bit with the rooftop. I guess in relation to that greenery there of a field that's immediately behind that cottage. They've come back well. Yeah, nice marks on this one. Nice texture to the grass, the field. Now, I mentioned the white, the lightness showing in some of the trees, the foliage, but I actually quite like these shapes that you left there. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but it's like the light is catching something or glistening, a bit of rain or something like that. Yeah, really good job with the textures on the field there, Mike. Right, Min. Well, quite a soft painting, soft edges. I like that sky. So you've gone for a big slope going down. Very nice indeed. While still maintaining, keeping the buildings fairly horizontal. You haven't bothered with the background fields. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. So we've got a feeling. Yeah, you've changed the landscape a lot. It really works. Foliage-wise, I think we would see, with your trees in full leaf, I think we would see less of the branches and the trunk. So you're on the right lines with the greens there. You've got a nice soft edge. I mean, that's the overall appearance of this. Soft edges contrasting with some of the harder edges in the field. I'll come back to in a minute. But I reckon less of these tree trunks showing there. That one there, that one there. We'll see a little bit at the bottom, but then the density of the leaves, we're just going to not see them. It sort of works all right in this bottom right-hand corner, maybe with a shrub or something like that, where it's kind of exposed and you can then see the kind of framework of those branches within the canopy. But these trees, I think they would look better without those twigs and branches in there. That tree on the right-hand side could have gone a little bit more vibrant with the green. And also timing-wise, we've got a bit of green here, sort of exposed in or merging into the sky. So just watch your timing when you've done the sky and then going in with the field as the next layer. The colour, lovely warm colours on that field, beautifully done, and that stubble as well. Yeah, another different sort of creative approach to it. Really nice indeed. Thanks very much, Min. And Nydia, a nice sort of golden scene. I think the photo is a little bit darker than your live painting. Good sense of depth with the fields. The trees are beautifully done. Nice brush work with the trees. I guess you've used a fairly small brush for those trees. Nicely done. The cottages have come out really well. Well, there's a little bit of a slope for some of the tops, the rooftops, but they've got a nice character, nice sort of quirky character about them, particularly that one on the right. Lovely golden feel to the field. Maybe you haven't got the slope going down from left to right, but you've got that contour there. Well done with that. And then the texture of the brown patch and the green patch coming to us. Your green grass come out really well. I like that edge there, that light edge, and then all the textures. That is really nice in that bottom right hand corner. Yeah, that darkness there. That whole area there, really, really nice. Like it. And then also the kind of successive layers that we've got of this shrub on the right hand side going into the distance. That's come out equally well. Thanks, Nydia. Sally. Yes, this is a lovely watercolour. Good composition. You've kind of, it looks like we've stepped back just a little bit, so the houses are a little bit smaller. We've got more of appreciation of the expanse of the landscape, I think, with this one, and with the slight sort of lowering of the skyline there. Beautiful sky, very nice sky. Good sense of depth with the background field and the soft edge to the woods at the back of that field. Perhaps that oak tree there could be just above the skyline, just a little bit. It's sort of there in line with it. I think it would, if it was a bit bigger, that would look better. The building's brilliant, very nice. Yeah, particularly that one on the left, loosely done. And then the way that you've done your field. Now you haven't got the sort of contour of those bumps in the field, but I do like the way that you've done the texture there, not overworked, kept it simple, exploiting what watercolor does with the transparency and those different edges there. We've got the sort of texture in there of the different grasses. Very, very nice there, just the right value of the shadow there. Perhaps it could have gone a bit thicker with the tree trunk. It looks fairly transparent. Yeah, and that's a nice green. It's not sort of in your face green. That's a nice sort of coolish green. And you've gone, I guess you've gone a little bit opaquish with that green. That's come out really well. I like that green. Yes, and it's a nice watercolor, that. Beautiful. Well done, Sally. And Sandra, a little bit darker, I bet, than the live photo. It looks like you've got a bit of a crop circle going on here. I like this sort of elliptical shape that's appeared in the field. Yeah, very nice. Lovely sky, good overall composition. You've managed to imply or get in the sheep in the distant field. That's come out really well. The danger is that you could go quite detailed with distant farm animals in a faraway field, but you've judged it. You've judged it just right. You've made the buildings a little bit more grand than they are. They've come out really well. One on the left, one on the right as well. Just be careful. A little bit of overworking on that window there, but it's okay. And then foliage-wise, I like your trees. Maybe we could have just a little bit more of a, although it's probably against your style, just a few leaves outside of the canopy, just to give it more of a natural edge. But I do like the way you've done your foliage. And then we've got this elliptical pattern there. I think it's really nice. I'd be tempted to put something in there, maybe figures or some walkers, just to sort of, maybe they're looking at this strange pattern of the field. I think it's really nice. Yeah, well done, Sandra. Thank you. And Sarah. Oh, we've got a ride-on mower there. He'll probably be having a difficult job. Good composition. Your colours are quite cool. You haven't gone, although we've got that bright green there. I reckon that green there, so if you'd have brought that to this bottom right hand corner, because that green there is quite cool. I know we're kind of in the shadow of the overhanging tree. Oh, the overhanging tree, by the way, lovely. I love those marks there. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, so maybe just could have gone a little bit more vibrant with the colours coming towards us. But good composition. The buildings are done really well. The trees, very nice also. The way that you've got their shape and the edge of the canopy there, particularly that one on the left-hand side. And then the way that you've done the shadows within the trees. Now we've got our right-on mower there. Brilliant. Yes, he probably might have a difficult job going uphill, but yeah, a nice touch. And the way that you've connected that mower to the field as well is particularly effective, trying to connect these things to try and make it, well, as I say, more connected with the landscape and the grass that figure is cutting. And we've got a nice sort of sweep, like Min's. We've got a nice sort of sweep there, almost as if that was the track that the mower took. Very nice, Sarah. Well done. And Tony, let's just zoom in a little bit on this one. A nice bright watercolor. Lots of lovely colours in the field. Nice composition. Got a little bit of a slope to the building there. Possibly it could be a tiny bit more horizontal. Lovely sky though. That is a fantastic sky. Nice range of edges with the clouds. Good background field as well. Kept it fairly soft with the very distant trees. These trees have come out very well. Just be careful not making them too perfect as well, but lovely trees, good shadow below them. Really nice feeling of the texture of the field and the gradient going down, brilliant. And then the fields also, the stubble of the grasses coming towards us. Perhaps we could have introduced a few more stubble or grass, a bit more texture to the field in the bottom right corner there. But a very nice bright watercolour. Well done, Tony. And Vicente, very colourful scene. Let me just zoom out a bit. No, I haven't the correct level of zoom just for this one. I thought I'd zoomed in a bit too much. Right, nice composition. I like that pylon on the horizon. That is a nice touch. There might have been one there on the source photo. I'd have a look later on. But nice touch. Just be careful not going too dark with the legs of that pylon. You've gone quite soft with the edges there, but don't go too dark or too hard an edge. Nice soft edges, good sense of depth there. This main tree here, maybe it could be. We've got a wide range of colours going on in there: blues, light greens, dark greens, browns. So maybe just restrict them a little bit more and try and define the shape of that tree just a little bit more to make it sort of more oak tree-like. Good job with the cottages, left and right. So you've kind of zoomed in on the scene a bit more. So we've got more of a feature of the buildings, that immediate area there. Now the field coming towards us, I like it. This silhouette, that red there, and then this silhouette, this warm silhouette of grasses showing up against the lightness of the field just a little bit further on. That's very effective as well. Yeah, nice. That really makes it, that little strip of stubble there. I guess also with the lines, just as a comment, maybe not make them too equally spaced and have them at different angles as well, just to make it a little bit more natural looking. So thanks very much, Vicente. Thanks all of you for your lovely paintings. It's been really great to see them, and hope to catch up with you soon on the next workshop, which is going to be March the 20th. Don't worry if you're watching this after March the 20th, you can still take part and get a video critique from me, Tim Wilmot. So thanks for watching, and back to a normal tutorial video on the next one. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.